The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) was established in 1999, is the main forum to facilitate economic growth and investment in the Asia-Pacific region. APEC has 21 members, some of them are Mexico, Australia, Russia, and Indonesia. The scope of the treaty is to engage sustainable economic growth and prosperity for the Asian-Pacific region. An example of these are APEC's member economies represent 44% of the world's trade, 53% of the world's GDP, and APEC GDP has also doubled since 1989 to 2010. Currently, US and Japan continue to apply protectionist policies against the rest of the members, so the improvement that I would recommend is that if they are a part of APEC, all nations must accept free trade and reject measured protectionist.
In the free trade area of Americas are involved 34 democracies of America excluding Cuba, and it's not signed yet. The FTA was an initiative of the USA after the signature of NAFTA. The objective is to promote regional economic integration based on a radical liberalization of markets accompanied by limited regulation of intellectual property, government procurement, and investment. It also proposes a gradual liberalization of markets, common industrial development, and a regional social policy. No improvement or reduction of asymmetries between economies was established. Implication for Mexico could be almost the same as to the other members. They have important differences, and the only characteristic they share is geography and a dependent economy on USA, which leaves Mexico and all those countries in the hands of US rules. A real example of a loss is that Mexico will be continued with the economic dependence on USA, and it will force Mexico to agree with the rules that US impose. The benefit for Mexico would be minimum compared to the power that US could obtain from this agreement. As a personal opinion, I wouldn't recommend this kind of integration because all the power will be concentrated in some countries and the majority maybe couldn't develop or defend itself as wish. I consider that is dangerous and a little advantageous.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a free trade agreement designed to liberalize trade and investment between 12 Pacific Rim countries: New Zealand, Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, Peru, Singapore, the United States, and Vietnam. It was signed on February 14 of 2016. The treaty has 29 chapters dealing with everything from financial services to telecommunications to sanitary standards for food. However, most countries have their own individual issues, and anonymously sources reports suggest that the biggest remaining sticking points are intellectual property, state-owned enterprises, market access, and investor-state dispute resolution.
The Transatlantic Free Trade Agreement is a proposal to create a free trade agreement covering Europe and North America on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. The agreement is being thought as one of the most transformative trade deals in history, since two of the benefits are job creation and increased levels of trade. The deal will encompass nearly half of the world's economic output. Since 2013, an agreement between the United States and the European Union has been under negotiation, the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. And if an agreement is reached and ratified on both sides, it could, at least in theory, be expanded to include the European Free Trade Association. Canada and Mexico both have free trade agreements with both the European Union and the EFTA. The positive impact of the EFTA will not just be felt in the US and European Union member states. A timely shot in the arm of the FTA plan could boost the global economy. Agreement to a substantial, effective, and wide-ranging TFTA is likely to kickstart economic growth in the US and Europe. In turn, this should contribute to a further economic development in emerging markets.
What should improve in Mexico's future trade policy is to prevent a large part of the imports and exports of products of Mexican origin be destined to or come from a select group of nations such as the United States. Since a trade rupture, the elimination of FTAs or the renegotiation of them can put Mexico in a disadvantaged position and, therefore, generate economic difficulties and a restrict exercise of political power by not being able to count on other markets that position themselves with the same strength as those already existing. The 5 recommendations that we will make for Mexico's future trade policy are: First, expand its commercial horizons with European and Asian countries, in order to guarantee that the rupture of commercial relations with the United States does not significantly affect the Mexican economy. 2. Harmonize national interests with the supply and demand of the international market, with the aim of ensuring that the economy is at the forefront of changes in the multinational trade. 3. Adopt more stringent measures aimed at protecting the national economy, such as anti-dumping measures, import quotas, and local content requirements. 4. Expand the number of products and countries that enjoy free trade benefits from Mexico, in order to position our country as a market in which good business can be done. 5. Position alternative dispute resolutions means as the preferred methods by countries that sign treaties with Mexico in case of problems of interpretation and application of them, thus reducing the time and resources allocated for this purpose.